This is Dan Dicks here reporting for Press for Truth with breaking news on the Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell document dump that has been happening over the last few days. A third batch of Epstein documents has just been released, folks. Troves of papers have just been unsealed by a court after bombshell claims about Clinton and Prince Andrew. Of course, if you're not aware, back on January 3rd, pursuant to a court's decision from December 18th of 2023, all of these documents relating to the Giuffre versus Maxwell case were ordered to be unsealed. And of course, this led to all of these names being publicly named, big names like Prince Andrew, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, David Copperfield, John Connolly, Alan Dershowitz, Leonardo DiCaprio, Al Gore, Stephen Hawking, Ehud Barak, Michael Jackson, Marvin Minsky, Kevin Spacey, George Lucas, Jean-Luc Brunel, Kate Blanchett, Naomi Campbell, Bruce Willis, Cameron Diaz, Noam Chomsky. It just goes on and on and on. This is a long, extensive list that's been coming out. We've seen a second set of Jeffrey Epstein court documents released, followed by this new third batch, which we have yet to be able to look at, but this is just breaking right now. But none of this should really be all that surprising or new. I've been in possession of this unredacted black book of Jeffrey Epstein for years. I put out a lot of this stuff years ago, and in fact, when it comes to the Epstein conspiracy, I put out this video explaining it all in under 2 minutes, his quote-unquote suicide, and the names that were named. Now, this video was produced way back in 2019, folks. That's because this new list is nothing new. It's more of a limited hangout than anything else. The FBI should unseal all of the tapes that Epstein filmed that they are in possession of as soon as possible. This is the big takeaway from the story. This is the treasure trove of evidence that needs to be released. Never mind this so-called clients list that everybody's talking about. These are the tapes. This is the DVDs and the CDs and the tapes that were confiscated by the FBI from Jeffrey Epstein. In case you guys didn't know, this guy was running a honeypot blackmailing ring operation. He had cameras outfitted throughout his entire operation. There were cameras on his airplane. There were cameras all over the island. There were cameras in every single room in his home in New York. He even had a control center, a control room where he could sit there and monitor all of the screens in real time. All of this was uncovered by the FBI, and they confiscated the tapes. This is where the real damage is going to be done. Never mind the so-called A-listers client list that is being released that I said seems to be nothing more than a limited hangout. By the way, when it comes to his quote-unquote suicide, I reported on this way back in 2019, breaking Epstein updates, the prince, the president, the brother, and the meme, that Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself according to his own brother and also the president of Syria. I don't know if you guys remember that. Syria's Assad says that Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself. And you also had Epstein's own brother himself saying that he did not kill himself. This reminds me of this that was going around. Lastly, I'm truly sorry for all of the hurt that I and I alone have caused. Goodbye, crew world. Signed, Ghislaine Maxwell. Of course, this is the more likely scenario of what actually happened to Jeffrey Epstein. But today we're going to look at, did you ever think we'd be seeing headlines like this? Bill Clinton and Stephen Hawking at an orgy, and Michael Jackson, here's all the unsealed Epstein docs. Or this one, the final nail in the coffin for Prince Andrew, bombshell Epstein file, underage orgy revelations will torpedo any hope of scandal hit Duke of York has of returning to his royal duties, say experts. By the way, guys, in case you didn't know, Prince Andrew actually settled with Virginia Giuffre. Yeah, he paid her out, reputed $14 million, but still is denying any wrongdoing. Go figure. There's also this top model who killed herself 2 years after visiting Jeffrey Epstein's Pedo Island at just the age of 18, she appeared in the flight logs and was just named in these new court documents. So yeah, you got this young, up-and-coming, budding career of a model who was recently on Epstein's Island, and then all of a sudden she decides to kill herself. Like, yeah, gee, nothing to see here, right? So when you got like all these distractions of these Hollywood, you know, literally these actors, Bruce Willis, Cameron Diaz, Leonardo DiCaprio, you know, it's kind of distracting from some of the big names that we should be looking at. I mean, forget about guys like David Copperfield. Let's take a closer look at guys like billionaire hedge fund, you know, managers who are getting into this, or, you know, Alan Dershowitz, the lawyer for Jeffrey Epstein, who in this crazy clip here, after being accused of raping young girls, tries to twist it around saying, well, all the people in the Me Too movement who are accusing me of doing this, why don't they point the finger at Hamas and the rapes that they're causing? It's absolutely an insane clip. There's also this one that just came out. This journalist is interviewing Dershowitz, and she's asked him, was Epstein Mossad? And he says, I've been working for Israel since before you were born here, kid. And she's like, did Epstein kill himself? And he's like, no, of course not. I mean, wait, yes, he did. It's quite the clip, guys. We're going to take a quick look at that as well. We'll take a look at this flashback to Bill Clinton being asked by a reporter as well about his ties to Epstein, and I think his reaction here back then was quite revealing, to say the least, guys. So we're going to talk about all of this and much more in this video. But really quickly, just before we do, I'd ask that you check me out here at pressfortruth.ca/donate. If you appreciate my efforts to bring you this information, here you can do a one-time donation with PayPal. You can sign up here for a monthly reoccurring contribution, $5 a month, $10 a month. Whatever is within your means is greatly appreciated, guys. You can do the same here at Subscribestar. You can also contribute some Bitcoin by clicking there, or other cryptocurrencies by clicking there. You can send me an e-transfer to dan@pressfortruth.ca. Thank you so much to everybody who contributes in that way. You can also send stuff to my P.O. box, guys. Links for all of this are located in the description below. Once again, thank you so much to everybody who takes a little bit of time and effort today to support my work financially here at Press for Truth. All right, guys, like I said, none of this is new. You know, you can take this back. I put this out back in December of 2021, the Ghislaine Maxwell trial. New photos and transcripts are out with big names being mentioned. Here, my friend Christoph Harris was there at the courtyards, at the court. He was there in person, taking notes from the inside. And then as soon as it was over, he came out and gave me this live interview. I will put links to all this in the description below. But again, this is really nothing new. It amounts to more of, like I said here, more of a limited hangout. Now, get a load of this reaction from Bill Clinton here, who was confronted about this. He manically laughs at the question, and you can see his handler extremely frustrated from the question. But check out this; it's very revealing.
Mr. Clinton, any comments on the alleged allegation of your connection with Jeffrey Epstein?
So, any comments on your alleged connection with Jeffrey Epstein? And look at his handler's reaction and his reaction. See that creepy smile. I thought he said, I think the evidence is in, but the subtitle is I think the evidence is clear. And guess what, Bill? The evidence is clear, and it is now coming in. You, sir, are a rapist and have been compromised. Check out Alan Dershowitz here as well, who, as I said in this clip, makes the insane claim that people who are accusing him of rape should be accusing Hamas of the same thing.
Is that
like,
I understand
listen to this.
All the feminist groups and the radicals who think this is the worst thing in the world, that anybody ever had any contact with Jeffrey Epstein. Where are all those radical feminists when it comes to the Hamas
What a
rapes
psycho.
of young Jewish.
He's like, oh, the people who think this is all that bad, me being accused of doing this stuff with this guy. Where were all you when Hamas was raping people? What an insane argument for this man to make. This is absolutely crazy. This is refreshing, though. Check out this interview that this journalist did with Dershowitz, where she grilled him pretty good here. Check this out.
Many of us suspect that Jeffrey Epstein was an asset to Mossad, and that Ghislaine Maxwell was in fact an agent of Mossad. There's a lot of evidence that point to this direction.
By the way, guys, I've been saying that for years. A lot of people have been saying that for years. It's not just us as well. Former Israeli intelligence officers have been claiming that Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were working for Israeli Mossad. This is not some conspiracy theory that Dershowitz tries to just brush off. This is the facts of the matter here. But at any rate, listen to how he handles this.
And that they were operating a blackmail operation in order to get very powerful people, including people like yourself, in precarious positions to where you could potentially work on behalf of the state of Israel or protect the state of Israel.
I've been working on the state of Israel. I've been working for the state of Israel since before you were born. Jeffrey Epstein once visited me in Israel. He had never been there. He didn't know anybody in Israel. He didn't work for the Mossad. The Mossad wouldn't hire him. And I hope he had videotapes of everybody, because they would show I never did anything improper. I have one other question. Are you used to having people come on your show to talk about one subject and then sandbagging them on another subject without any warning? Because it's nice to know you do that, and it will make certain that I have nothing to hide. I'm happy to talk about any of this, but I'm used to
let's talk about
ethical journalism.
No, we actually did notify the people who booked you onto the show that you would be asked about Epstein, and they assured us that you were aware of this.
No, they never notified me about that, and you'd have to show me that email.
Okay. One last question. Do you think that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself?
No. Of course not.
Of course not.
Well, he didn't kill himself without the help of some people. He did kill himself.
Whoa, what? Whoops. Talk about a little bit of a slip up and then sticking his foot in his mouth trying to fix this. He's like, he did kill himself with the help of some people. I don't mean Clinton's. Let's pull this back. This is hilarious.
Himself?
No, of course not. Well, he didn't kill himself without the help of some people. He did kill himself, but he killed himself with the help of guards. He didn't do it by himself. He couldn't have done that. Obviously, though, the videos were turned off, and the guards turned their back, and his cellmate left. So I think he killed himself, but he killed himself with the assistance of some people in law enforcement.
What a crazy workaround that is in this guy's brain. So no, he killed himself, but it wasn't by himself. It was the help of these guards who turned off the tapes and turned their backs on him. Yeah, it's more likely that these guards turned their backs so that something like this could happen. And, I hate to laugh at such a meme, but this one cracks me up. But it's true. This is the more likely scenario that we're dealing with here. Now, again, guys, if you want to talk about some of the real big names here, some of the people who have been compromised and who, if these tapes ever do come out, that's where we'll see real justice. Well, check out this. I was going through this list, and I'm coming through names like, Hannah Rothschild, for example, right here. Here she is listed in it all. Hannah Mary Rothschild. She is the daughter of Jacob Rothschild. She's a businesswoman, philanthropist, documentary filmmaker, and she's into journalism. She is heavily compromised by this. Not just her. You scroll down, we got Edward de Rothschild. This is Edward de Rothschild. He is the son of Guy de Rothschild. This is from the French branch of the Rothschild banking dynasty. And last but not least, look at this one, guys. Evelyn de Rothschild. Do you know who that is, folks? This is Evelyn de Rothschild poking his finger in the chest of royalty. If this man here is compromised by the Epstein Maxwell black ring honeypot operation, just imagine how much power the people behind this operation wield if guys like Rothschild are potentially compromised. The man here seen poking the king, then at the time the prince, right there in the chest. These are some of the names that I think are important to pay attention to, guys. Not, Hollywood A-listers, but it's Tony, guys like Tony Blair, guys like Henry Kissinger, guys like the representatives of the Rothschild banking dynasty. This is the important stuff. And as I said, guys, don't get too carried away with this client list. What we really need to push for is the release of the tapes. This was confiscated from Jeffrey Epstein's own personal safe, and it's clearly just, boxes and boxes of the evidence, the blackmailing ring evidence. It's all right here. And I think there are powerful people out there who are shaking in their boots right now at the thought of any of this stuff being released. So that's what we have to continue to press on for, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be too, carried away by these second, and third batch release. As a lot of this does seem like it's a bit of a limited hangout where they're, going after their political enemies while protecting the real criminals who need to be exposed for all of this. Again, not until these tapes are released are we ever going to get justice for what's happened here. So, just wanted to bring all of that to your attention once again, ladies and gentlemen. If you do appreciate my efforts to do so, don't forget to check me out here at pressfortruth.ca/donate. Links for all of this will be located in the description below. And that's all for today, guys. I want to thank you once again for tuning in. Again, don't forget to click that thumbs up button. Share this video with your friends and your family who you think need to see it the most. And stay tuned. We're going to have more video reports coming soon, God willing. This is Dan Dicks reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.